Hello guys, can you see this board?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So we were discussing Faraday law, right? What is that law? Changing magnetic field induces an electric field, right? What is the reason behind this electric field? Nobody knows, and that's why it's a law. Electric field क्यों बना? इसका कोई reason नहीं है, and that is why this statement is called a law. Or in mathematics, this induced EMF, which we write as loop integral over the electric field, according to Faraday, this electric field or this induced EMF is equal to this, right? What is phi? Phi is the magnetic flux. So take magnetic field, take a small element, area element, and integrate over the whole surface enclosed by the loop. So we have this loop, and dl means the boundary of this loop, and ds is this, s is the surface enclosed by this loop. But when we try to find a differential version of this, we face this problem. So what is the right hand side? dy dt of integral b dot ds, right? And then we were thinking whether we can take this integral inside or not. So obviously we cannot take it inside without any reason. If there are like b is like constant or there is no factor of t inside, then we can take, but in general we cannot interchange the operators. And there were problems with this formula as well. इस formula के साथ भी कुछ problems हमने देखे थे. If field is not changing with time, यदि magnetic field time के साथ change नहीं होता है, we see that curl of E is 0, means there is no induced EMF. So, but there are cases where magnetic field is not changing with time, but still we were able to see some induced EMF. So where is the problem? So we are going to redrive the same thing again, but now in complete details. So let us again define the EMF. So what is EMF? Obviously, let us say this is a loop. There is some force on the electrons which cause them to move along the wire. Obviously, wire के अंदर कोई force है जो electrons को move कराता है. What is that force? That force in general may be this. Some electric field, कहाँ से आया? We do not know. We do not know where does it come from. And some magnetic field, right? Or in general, the EMF induced in this circuit has to be equal to this much. Just divided by Q plus B cross B dot dl. This is the complete EMF generated in the circuit. Let us rediscuss all the three experiments. Experiment 1. What was that? This is the magnetic field. And a coil was moving. Right? There is a coil and that coil was moving. What was experiment 2? This is the magnetic field. This magnetic field was moving backward. Coil did not move. It was as it is. And what was experiment 3? This is magnetic field. It is not at all moving. कोई magnet move नहीं कर रहा है. It is just that field is varying with time. ना ही circuit move कर रहा है, ना ही field. Only thing is that B is now a function of time. That's it. In experiment 1, it is this term which is producing EMF, right? Experiment 1 में ये term है जो EMF produce कर रही है. There is no electric field inside the circuit. Whereas in experiment 2 and experiment 3, it is the first term that is producing the EMF. Whenever you move magnetic field or whenever you change it with time, some electric field automatically comes. ये आया कहाँ से? Nobody knows, but it appears. And this electric field produces EMF. So source of EMF in experiment 1 is different from 2 and 3. But luckily, this E is just a coincidence that in all three experiments, it is equal to this number. So regions are again, their origins are different, but it's just a matter of coincidence that we get the same answer right from this formula. Okay. Experiment 2 and 3 are Faraday law. There is no extra law needed to explain experiment 1. One को explain करने के लिए कुछ आपको नया नहीं चाहिए. Existing theory can give you the answer. और एक बार just coincidence है कि वो answer इससे भी match करता है. So this is the complete EMF. किसी भी केस में यदि EMF calculate करना है, this is the complete answer. Right? Now let us again calculate the right hand side. ये क्या है? So we need to calculate d phi by dt. Okay. What is this equal to? D over dt of magnetic flux inside the loop. How much it is? B dot ds integral over the surface. Right? But 1 second. In general, what we have, like in this case, this coil is moving, right? Like in experiment 1, we have a moving surface. In experiment 2, surface is not moving, we have a moving magnetic field. In experiment 3, nothing is moving. It means what? The boundary or whatever the surface we are using, it may be function of time. Agree? Like if we are trying to calculate d phi by dt for first experiment, you can see this surface is changing with time. ये time के साथ change हो रही है, right? So this is the complete thing we need to calculate. What about B? B in general can be पोजीशन के साथ चेंज हो सकता है, टाइम के साथ भी चेंज हो सकता है. Let us say we apply some AC current, then it is changing with time also. So we have this situation. This surface is changing with time, and this magnetic field in general can change with time as well as with position, right? Now with this given information, what is your opinion? Can we take this dy dt inside the integral? आपका सजेशन क्या है?
No, sir, we cannot.
Obviously we cannot, because if we first take derivative and then we apply limits, and obviously limits are also changing with time, we will get some different result. So what is the answer here? And obviously it is not an easy calculation to do, and I'm not asking you to do this calculation. Let me give you the final answer directly. This is called, I may not be correct in spelling, Leibniz integral rule. Okay. If you search by this name on internet, you will find this integral. What is this integral equal to? This. First, let me completely write this term. Then I will make it clear what is happening. This is over the surface at some time t plus one more term, एक term और इसके अलावा, integral over the boundary, and obviously surface is changing with time, boundary भी तो time के साथ change होगा. Now ये कहाँ से आया? That's a difficult part. I can give you just hint of this integral. So if we integrate and then differentiate, what kind of terms are we going to get? किस तरह के terms आपको मिलेंगे? So b is a function of x, y, z and t, and if we take time derivative, we will get terms like this: del v by del x by del t. Similarly for pi, similarly for z, del z by del t, right? And if it is changing with time also, del v by del t. These three terms collectively written as del dot p, and this del x by del t is vector b, right? So these four terms are here. ये कहाँ से आया है? So this is like when you put boundary and take time derivative over the boundary. This is the boundary here. One dimension में you will get only 2 points. In case of surface, what is the boundary of a surface? This outermost curve. Okay. So this is just a ready-made answer. Exact derivation is quite difficult. Don't go into that much. What is the left-hand side? This is equal to induced EMF. और ये किसके बराबर है? In actual sense, it is equal to E plus B cross. Let me use the space here. This is the induced EMF with a minus sign. Minus here also. Is it minus or? One minute. Yes, I think I am making some mistake. Let me see. So this is the first one. What the terms are positive. Anyway, let us see what we get. So this is d phi by dt, right? And what is induced EMF? Integral E plus V cross B dot dl, right? So these two things are equal. Let us set them equal and let us see what we get. So what is on the left hand side? This. What is this B? B is the speed of the loop. What is on right hand side? So this is also with time. ये भी time के साथ change हो रहा है for obvious reasons. What is del dot B? Divergence of B is always 0, right? Del V by del T, and EMF is minus d phi by dt. So minus sign here. Plus del dot B is 0. So this term is not there. What we get only this much. What is this term? So what we are getting? Integral E dot dl over this loop is equal to minus right? B cross B dot dl cancels with this B cross B dot dl. What we are left with is this, right? इसको हमने लास्ट क्लास में प्रूव किया है. This is equivalent to del cross E is equal to minus del V over del T, right? So what did we learn from here? Induced EMF is this. Or complete EMF in the circuit is always this. This thing is always equal to minus d phi by dt. ये टर्म क्या बताता है? This term, only this much component, is equal to this. Okay. So this is not complete Faraday law. This is part of Faraday law only. Faraday law का सिर्फ एक component ये इक्वेशन आपको बताती है. And therefore this is sometimes called Maxwell's Faraday equation. Okay. This part is slight complicated. यदि आपको समझ में नहीं आया है तब भी do not worry. Just for completeness only, I gave you all these details. ये आपको शायद books में नहीं मिलेंगी. So don't worry about if you don't get this mathematics. Just to uncover the hidden part, I discussed all these things. Okay. So is there any doubt you can ask? And if your doubts are still not clear, don't worry. कुछ पूछना है पूछ सकते हैं. So it is this component that Faraday discovered. इसका origin कहाँ से है? Nobody knows. This comes from Faraday law, and this component usually have this name, induced EMF. This component, we have complete theory for it. There is no induced EMF. We know where does it come from, and therefore it has name motional EMF. Okay, so it is the induced EMF component only which respect this equation. So in that sense, people usually say that this is also Faraday law. इस सेंस में लोग इसको Faraday law कह देते हैं. But if you want to calculate complete EMF in the circuit, always follow this equation. वो EMF कहीं से भी हो सकता है, मोशनल भी हो सकता है, इंड्यूस्ड भी हो सकता है, और इट में भी बोथ, वो दोनों भी हो सकता है. Something like, let us say in experiment 1, in experiment 2, let us say this coil is also moving. Then what will be your answer? Magnetic field तो मूव कर ही रहा है, coil भी मूव कर रहा है with b2 स्पीड. अब आपका आंसर क्या होगा?
Sir, both will come, sir.
Now you can see EMF will be from two parts. Magnetic field is moving, and what is the answer due to that? This first component E dot dl. Coil is also moving, so second component is also there, right? So in that case, both the terms are not zero. Complete EMF इस इक्वेशन से आएगा. इसको कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है?
Sir, that means both induced and motional, sir.
Yes, yes. In that case, both the components are there. Induced भी है, motional भी है.
Okay, sir.
So this del cross E is equal to minus del V by del T. It is just giving you half of the answer. ये सिर्फ half of the answer दे रहा है. First part only. Second को आपने अभी भी कैलकुलेट करना है, right? So those who are considering this complete thing is induced EMF, जो इसको पूरे को Faraday law मानते हैं, उसके लिए लास्ट इक्वेशन Faraday law नहीं है. Obviously this is half of the. जो सिर्फ फर्स्ट कंपोनेंट को Faraday law मानते हैं, and that is actually Faraday law. फर्स्ट कंपोनेंट का आंसर हमारे पास नहीं है, ये आता कहाँ से है? सेकंड का आंसर है. So there is a category who assume first component is Faraday law, और उनके लिए फिर ये भी Faraday law ही है, right? So that was the difference. So it's up to your convenience, up to your nomenclature, what you consider Faraday law.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, in EXPT2, that extra term motional EMF came because both are moving, no, sir?
Right. If both are moving, then both the terms are there.
Oh,
Because
okay,
of
sir.
moving magnetic field, there is induced EMF. वो कितना होगा Faraday law बताएगा. Coil is also moving, so there is a motional EMF as well, जो आपको second term बताएगा. So second terms give you induced EMF due to motion of coil. First term give you induced EMF due to motion of magnet. So this is a super complicated case which you do not usually encounter. In almost all the machines, we have only one of the case. Either magnet remains stationary, coil moving, or coil remains stationary, magnet moves. But if both of the things are moving, you will have a similarly complicated scenario. So this is all about Faraday law. I have given you more than necessary things. मैंने आपको वो भी बताया जो आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है. So don't worry. इसमें से जितना आपको समझ में आ रहा है, just keep that. What is inductance? So let us take two coils. One coil is this, and second file is this. Okay. And this is the coordinate system we are using. So let us say this is the origin, this is x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Okay. Let us assume some current I1 is flowing in this circuit. Okay. Because of this I1 current, this coil or this loop will produce a magnetic field. Let us say this is the field. Okay. So there is a flux passing through second loop. Let me call it loop 1. And this is loop 2. If I calculate how much is the flux passing through loop 2, let us say it is phi 2. But what is phi 2? Obviously magnetic field B, but this magnetic field is due to loop 1, right? Into area. What is the area? Area of this loop. Because we are trying to calculate how much flux is passing through second loop. So magnetic field is generated by first loop, area of second loop, integrate over the second surface. This is the flux passing through second loop due to magnetic field generated by first loop, right? So phi 2 is equal to this, and B1, obviously it is proportional to I1, and since I1 is a constant, I can take I1 outside the integral as well. यदि I1 constant है, or even if I1 is a function of time as well, then also I can take it outside the integral because my limits are not time dependent. So phi 2 is a function of B1. B1 is proportional to I1, or in general I can say that phi 2 flux through second loop proportional to I1. What does it mean? In words, if there is a current in first loop, there is a flux in second loop. Let us say I double the current. Current, let us say, become 2 ampere from 1 ampere. Then the flux will automatically get double. यदि हम करंट को डबल करते हैं, magnetic flux will also be double, right? What is this proportionality constant? Obviously it depends on this integral, and this integral can be easy or complicated, depends on what is the geometry, what is the separation between these two. Or we can say that phi 2 is equal to m 21 phi 1. What is m21?
Magnetic inductance on 2 due to 1.
Mutual inductance.
Sorry, mutual.
When current in loop 1 produces field or magnetic field in loop 2. Not magnetic field. Produces flux in loop 2. So there is a current in loop 1, but because of that current, a flux is being produced in second loop, and obviously this flux is proportional to this current. So let us say this is a proportionality constant. What does it depend on? ये किस पे depend करेगा? Size, shape, and gap between two loops.
सर मटेरियल पे डिपेंड नहीं करेगा,
Sorry,
मटेरियल पे डिपेंड नहीं करेगा क्या?
which factor?
मटेरियल सर, मटेरियल
What do you mean by material?
जो कॉइल्स है वो कॉइल्स कैसी है उन पे डिपेंड नहीं करेगा क्या?
So the current will be affected if you use some other material. So current component is there, right? So okay, we are going to drive a formula for M. There you can see what factor does it depend on. वहाँ से आपको पता चलेगा किस पे depend करेगा.
I know sir the factors in which the I comes, but sir will it depend on I or it will depend only on size, shape and gap between?
It only depends on size, shape and gap. So I'll write the formula for it, and there you will see all the things. Now let us say we pass some current I2 in this. Then same phenomena appears with first loop as well, right? Means if there is a current I2 in second loop, it will produce a flux in first loop. And how much is that flux? Let us say this number.
M12 is
right? So what is M12? M12 is mutual inductance when current is there in second loop and flux is generated in first loop. Is there any connection between these two?
they are equal.
Okay. So let us find the connection. Obviously, you know that these are equal. Now we are going to prove it that these are actually equal. Or what is the form of mutual inductance? Mutual inductance है क्या वास्तव में? So there is nothing surprising. All we need to do this integral. ये integral करना होगा, then only we can get this mutual inductance, right? Because all this proportionality things is equivalent to this integral, right? So let us do this integral and let us see what we get. So same diagram, one loop here, second loop here. They may be of different shape and size. I don't know what is their size, what is their shape. This is some coordinate system. Let us say this is some small element. What is the size? Size is, let us say, dl1. Okay. What is the position? Let us say position is vector r1. There is some, let us say, some small element here. क्या size है इसका? dl2. What is the position of this? This is the position, vector r2. Or let us say what is the connection between these two? That is this vector, right? What is this vector? Some curly r. What is curly r? Obviously vector r2.
Sir, R2 is not curly.
Right? Minus r1. Now what we need to calculate? हमें calculate क्या करना है? We want to calculate phi 2, which is equal to magnetic field due to first coil into a small surface area of second coil, right? What is B1? Del cross A, right? What is B, by the way? Let us write B for rough work only. B is this mu naught upon 4 pi. Due to this small element, how much is the B? Current I1 dl1 cross R curly vector divided by R square. This is the magnetic field generated by this small element at this point. इस छोटे से एलिमेंट की वजह से इस पॉइंट, लेट मी गिव द नेम, P1 पर जो करंट सेगमेंट है इसकी वजह से P2 पर कितना मैग्नेटिक फील्ड बना है? इट इज दिस मच, राइट? और म्यू नॉट अपॉन 4 पाई I1 dl1, this is R1 minus R2 upon R1 minus R2 mod Q, right? So this is magnetic field. I just write it for completeness. I am not going to use it. इसमें use नहीं करने जा रहा.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, can you tell me what is this A? I was not in last class, sir.
Which one?
A, capital
A is magnetic vector potential.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So what is B1? Magnetic field generated by first loop at any point. I am calculating at P2, but you can calculate at any point, right? That point is defined by this vector R2. So let me use the correct terms first. Del 2 A1. What is del 2? Derivative with respect to R2. What does it mean? Magnetic field कहाँ calculate कर रहे हैं? Where are we going to calculate magnetic field? At this point P2. P2 can be this or this, anywhere on the second loop, right? So which coordinates, which vector should I change to reach at different point? Different point पे जाने के लिए कौन सा vector change करना पड़ेगा?
R2 or capital curly R?
We have to change this R2, and so R2 will change, right? R1 remain fixed, right? And obviously if R2 is changing, this will also change, right? So I am going to calculate vector potential at any point on this loop, on the second loop, because I need to know magnetic field at second loop. So A1 is the vector potential due to first loop, and I am going to calculate it at this point P2. P2 can be boundary or inside, anywhere, right? So I will have to take derivative with respect to R2 variable. Or what is A? This is B1. Equivalently, if I want to write A1, what is A1? We have derived in the last class, mu naught upon 4 pi I1 dl1. Why I1 dl1? This vector potential is generated by this small segment. But where do we calculate it? कहाँ पे calculate कर रहे हैं? At point P2. What is point P2?
R2.
Right. So when I take del cross A with respect to R2, I will have to take, because मुझे इस पे चेक करना है del cross A को, right? So R2 is a variable here, R1 is fixed, right? Let us write it now. 1 minute. There is one more thing. This integral here on S2, this ds2 here on S2, right? Where do we want to calculate magnetic field? At P2 means del 2, right? Cross A1. A1 means vector potential due to this whole loop, इस पूरे loop की वजह से, right? And how much is that? अभी हमने लिखा है due to this small segment, this much. Right? ये कितना, ये वेक्टर पोटेंशियल है ड्यू टू दिस स्मॉल सेगमेंट dl1. पूरे की वजह से कितना होगा? इंटीग्रल ओवर L1. L1 means this complete loop, right? So this is the magnetic flux at any point in this loop. ये complete magnetic flux है second loop में, right? Now just इसको simplify करते हैं. Let us simplify it. S2 and what we have here. Del 2 cross loop integral on first mu naught upon 4 pi I1 dl1 upon, this is mod R2 minus R1, okay, dot ds2. This is the bracket, right? अभी कोई simplification नहीं किया है, I'm just rewriting the same thing. So what simplification can I do? Del cross some vector, जो भी है, it's a complicated vector का surface integral. If I apply Stokes theorem, what I get? Instead of surface, I will get boundary integral and just this function L1 mu naught upon 4 pi I1 dl1 upon R2 minus R1, right? This is the vector dot dl2. स्टोक्स थ्योरम क्या होता है? सरफेस इंटीग्रल डेल क्रॉस f dot ds is simply f dot dl, right? Yes. So this is the flux 5-2, and obviously you can see it is proportional to I1. So what is M21? M21 क्या हुआ? Integral over loop 2, integral over loop 1, mu naught upon 4 pi, dl1 is here, dl2 is here, upon R2 minus R1. So what does it depend on? If you see this integral,
Depends upon L2, L1, just R1 and R2, I think.
depends on the shape of loop, whether it is square, circular, or some random shape, right? एंड क्या म्यूचुअल सेपरेशन है दोनों के बीच? व्हाट इज R2 minus R1 मींस दिस कर्ली R, ये कितना है, राइट? इफ यू इंक्रीज द सेपरेशन बिटवीन these, mutual inductance will decrease, right? And separation between loops.
सर शेप की डिपेंडेंस के लिए कौन सी टर्म है ये, DL1 L2?
So shape comes from here. ये इंटीग्रल आप कैसे करेंगे? Let us say this is the loop. Then what is your DL? It is equal to dx for this AB part, right? It is equal to dy for this BC part. It is again minus dx for this CD part, right? And it is minus dy. But let us say if this is circle, then what is your DL? Now DL is simply some r d theta, right?
Right, sir, right.
And if this is the shape, now it's super complicated. I mean, you will have to find the equation of this curve. इसका equation बनाना होगा, and then you will have to do the mathematics. So shape comes in this boundary part, right? Shape and size all are contained in the boundary, and separation is obviously seen here. This is M21. Can we write M12?
Yes, sir.
Everything is same, just replace L2 by L1, L1 by L2, right?
2 by 1.
0.45. This becomes DL2, this becomes DL1, and here you will get R1 minus R2. क्या ये बदला? Is it different from M21?
Not at all, sir.
Dot product remains same. R2 minus R1 mod or R1 minus R2 mod, it's the same thing, right?
Yes.
So mutual inductance are same, and they depends only on the
Shape and separation.
size and shape. Okay. So this is mutual inductance. Similar to mutual inductance, there is another term. What is that?
Self-inductance.
What is self-inductance? Inductance due to its own current. Means, let us say this is a loop, right? So now there is no another loop. There is some current I. Because of its own current, it will generate a magnetic field, right? So this magnetic field, this is, let us say, current I1 due to this loop 1. There is no loop 2 anyway, and this flux is now generated by its own magnetic field, right? This phi1 is actually proportional to its own current, right? Or I can say, sorry, that this phi1 is equal to
Li1.
some constant times I1. What is this L?
Self-inductance of coil.
Self-inductance, right? Depends on,
Again, shape and size.
yes, size and shape of coil. Right? So there may be standard questions like, this is a solenoid. I have given you size, I have given you shape, everything. This, the radius is R, number of turns are N, whatever. Find the self-inductance. So what's the method? Pass some current. Let us say you can set any current and see how much flux is passing through this solenoid because of its own field. इसके अपने current की वजह से कितना flux pass हो रहा है. Okay, so let us say you pass some current I1, calculate flux. Let us say flux is phi1. There is some factors here. All those factors are equal to what? L, right? So you can find self-inductance due to solenoid. You can find self-inductance due to current loop. All the standard cases that you have studied so far, right? So this you can always do, and this has its own importance. कहाँ रोल है इन सबका? बता सकते हैं कहाँ इनका इंपॉर्टेंस है?
You mean sir inductors क्या काम आते हैं?
Like you have this transformer, right? You pass some current I1 in this loop and you get some voltage here or some current here. What is the current I2 will depends on what is the mutual inductance of this transformer, right? So the induced EMF in the second loop will be function of M, right? So M is like an intermediary step which you should know to calculate what is the overall EMF or overall current in the secondary coil. Secondary coil में कितना current आएगा? That will be given by this number, right? और what is the back EMF in the primary coil? Back EMF primary coil में कितना बनेगा? That will be function of self-inductance. So these are some numbers, like some parameters of a transformer, which if you know, you can find out which transformer is good for you. यदि ये numbers आपको पता है, you can decide कि transformer कितना अच्छी quality का है या कितना अच्छा नहीं है. So these are some standard parameters which you can use to find products of your choice. So we will discuss more about the induced EMF and the connection of these L and M with EMF in the next class. So if you have any doubt with today's lecture, you can ask.
Sir, is there any relation between self and mutual inductance?
Any relation between self and mutual? Self-inductance is a property of...
No, sir, I mean any mathematical relation between M12, M21 and L.
I mean, how will you find? Because mutual inductance is always between two circuits. Mutual inductance दो circuits के बीच का matter है, right?
Sir,
Whereas
like we have given two coils of L1 and L2. So can we find mutual inductance between them?
okay, I hope you can find, but see, what you are saying is something like this. We have one loop here. We have one loop here. This is self-inductance L1. This is self-inductance L2. What is the mutual inductance of these two in terms of L1, L2, right? यही पूछ रहे हैं.
Sir.
But M also depends on the separation between these two. इनके बीच का separation कितना है? It is function of R as well, right? If you change R, there is no change in L1 and L2, but M will change. So I don't know if there is any such formula. As of now, I'm not aware of any such formula. We can try to drive one, but
I think sir, I have studied a formula in 10 plus 2 that M is equal to root of L1 L2. Is it correct or?
So there are some constraints on the separation then. The separation has to have some fixed value, right?
Actually, I don't remember, sir. That's why I asked. Is there any formula?
So I'll have to see. Obviously, there must be some restrictions on the separation. Otherwise, it is obvious. If you increase the separation between the coil, यदि आप coil के बीच का separation बढ़ाएंगे, mutual inductance will decrease. It is obvious
Yes,
from
sir.
here.
Mhm.
So when you are writing this formula, it might be true, but what is the constraint on the separation? I hope that R is equal to 0 in your case. So that may be the case like this. Two coils are at the same place. So R is effectively 0 or close to 0. And then they are trying to develop this kind of formula. Show me the derivation or show me the book where you read this, then only I can have some comments. Otherwise, I don't think. If you increase the separation, M is obviously going to decrease.
I will search for it, sir.
Any other doubt? All right, so I'm going to end this class now. All right, you can leave now.